Greetings. We are still answering the stupid who attack Islam in the West. Those stupid who attack Islam in the West. Islam, according to the majority, vast majority of Muslims, they believe whether this is true or false, we're not going to discuss this. Because true Islam is not based on 5 pillars, like they say. Islam is based on the Noble Quran, in full, a package. But let us go along with the vast majority of Muslims who say that Islam is based on 5 pillars. What are those 5 pillars? They say, number 1, the testimony of La ilaha illallah, that there is no ilah deserving worship except Allah. Second, prayers. Third, fasting. Fourth, giving alms. Fifth, pilgrimage, visiting the house of the Lord in Mecca for those who can afford it. لمن استطاع إليه سبيلا. Whosoever can afford to do it. Financially, physically, psychologically, you have to look into all those factors combined. لمن استطاع إليه سبيلا. So استطاع, capability, being able, capable of doing it. Very well. It is not obligatory. It is, wonderful to do it. But Allah is not forcing it on the Muslims. لمن استطاع, whosoever can. So if you cannot, then you are excused from fulfilling this ritual in Islam, or they call it the pillar. Let's go about those pillars one by one and check them out, because this is the basis of Islam according to the vast majority of Muslims. But I personally believe that Islam is based on the Noble Quran in full, a whole package. There is you cannot divide it. You cannot separate and say only 5 things. No, the Quran is the basis, the only pillar. No, not 5 pillars or 10,000 pillars. Quran is the pillar of Islam. But let us go with what Muslims believe, the vast majority. Let's go with that. So the first thing, the testimony. Is there something called testimony in the Jewish Christian book? Yes, there is. And let us read about it. Very well, let's see in the Jewish Christian books. Okay, let's go to Isaiah chapter 8, verse 16. It says, bind up this testimony of warning and seal up God's instruction. All right, so Isaiah is speaking, bind up the testimony, okay, of the law among my disciples. And chapter 8, verse 20 says, to the law and to the testimony. So, first of all, we notice that this testimony belongs to the law that Moses brought according to them. So they speak about testimony. And Islam, testimony is shahada of la ilaha illallah, or the testimony that there is no ilah deserving worship except Allah. So the Jewish Christian book also speaks about the testimony and includes this testimony in the law of heaven. However, we ask, what is this testimony? Is it Trinity, that God is 3 in 1, like the Baptist, evil, rotten claim? Or like the Catholic, that God, the Father is God, the Son is God, the Holy Ghost is God, 3 God, not 1 God? What is the testimony? Definitely not Trinity. When those verses were written in Isaiah, Isaiah never heard of Trinity. Period. This Trinity is an evil invention done by the Christians. Sorry about that. Therefore, yes, they speak about the testimony. And let's continue to read, about this. Deuteronomy 4:35 says, so that you might know that the Lord is God, beside him there is no other. So now we are started. We are talking about the testimony of Islam. This is the testimony of Islam, that the Lord is one and there is no other. Shahadat of La ilaha illallah. There is no God except God. No ilah deserving worship except Allah. So this is the testimony. Next time we'll pick up from here and we proceed and go on, showing more and more about the testimony, the proper testimony in the Judeo-Christian book, the Islam way, the Islam faith, the testimony on behalf of Islam from Jews and Christians, and information that they have no knowledge about. They don't understand it. They come up with evil trinity. We'll talk about this next time. Take care.